Fancy! The turtle's been back again! Now look, I think these marks are terribly fresh. I think that she's come back today. This has been done in the early morning. Do you think it's worth you coming and spending the night? Because if you could camp out here, it would be just fantastic if we could just have a look at her. Maybe in the early morning we can take watches to see when she comes and to catch her coming up and going down. Please. Thank you. It's a really lovely time to draw things because after the storm all the flowers have come out. These lovely little, I don't think they're orchids, I know there's a name for them but I've forgotten it. These little purple ones, these which I'm sitting on round here. And a cricket came and sat just long enough for me to draw him. Everything just seems to be blooming. The birds have come back, those lovely crows. It's lovely. Nice and bright. Nice and dry. I can sit outside and draw. From the creek. Great treats. I ventured into dreaded Mosquito Alley again. Once in shorts is enough. This time I wear long everything. You see, the thing is, I don't think the weather's going to change, and I don't think that the storms are over. And I don't think I can sleep on that terrible hard rock again without some sort of a mattress. So what I'm going to do is to just try to remember what the mix told me. You don't cut into your leg. I'm going to try to make a mattress. Put on something different for you tonight. I put on my green shirt back to front to give you just a slight change of scene. But there's another reason for wearing all these long sleeves. For some reason the sandflies have come out tonight. When I got up this morning I made a really good fire. I was going, yeah, cool for cats. Put the water on just enough to boil up a mug, got the tea in, and then I put one of my wooden ledges there where I do the flower, and I was blowing it up because I wanted to make some lime juice, sort of boiled up lime essence thing. And I lent on it tea, all the tea went pop, down the leg, onto the 36A shoe. And it was funny, I wasn't really very depressed. I just thought, well, that's the tea gone. Once all the crew's left the island, again, middle of the day, my island's mine. So I do what I usually do, which is take off all my clothes, keeping on the fish feet, bathing suit in one hand, fish feet in the other, nice stick, and I turn the corner, I'm stark naked, my stick and my bathing suit, and the boat, which all the crew is on, because it's been very rough, you have to come around more there. Behind a rock, one of the things, silly. Still sounds as though it's raining. It's not raining. I'm longing to get out of this cave now. Because you can't see the sky and there's no breeze. I mean, but there's only two alternatives here. Either you're in the cave and dark and hot, because it's very hot up there, or you're on the beach and bitten. I can't think what's the best. I can't think what's the best. Oh, I've forgotten everything else now. I'm getting a bit vague. Perfectly happy. Feeling really good. Feeling very good. C'est ça, c'est tout. I got all the crew up here this morning to look at the dawn. First of all, I thought it'd be good for them to get up early once in a while. And secondly, this is very near to where the big turtle came up to lay her eggs. I mean, it's just a chance that she might come up again, because we don't know when she comes up. I don't know what the time is now, but it must be about 4:30 or something like that. And the dawn's already coming up. We had a bit of a tragedy coming down here, because right at the far end of the beach, there were some tiny, tiny baby turtles who didn't make it to the sea, and they were just lying there dead. So we hope that the 40 that got away, well, maybe just some didn't. Maybe that's the way that nature goes. Very sad. But this is sensational. Once the sun starts coming, oof, it's going to be another blazing day, because it's clear as clear. Last night we had a good storm. It was terribly hot yesterday. Good fire, huh? Today the crew insisted I tried to get a coconut down. I'd been putting it off as I was finding everything very tiring by now. The trees seem incredibly high. I guess all these are dead and gone from the fishermen. So, I've got to climb up and give one. Or get a stick, that's a good idea. Get a long stick or something like that. Ooh! Run like a sand glide. In case that... Oh, missed. Gee, that burst! Look, you could see the stuff coming out. It's cracked, so I won't be able to open it that way, but you can see, look. Oh, well, paradise. Isn't that great? Hoping that this gorgeous weather will hold, I've decided to risk moving back into the open air and my beloved A-frame. Now, I've got some supper cooking. I wish I could feel a little bit more excited about this supper, but it is yet again a sort of vegetable risotto sort of stew. I've got some more nice little sweet potatoes. I've got some water boiling here. I'm going to have some rice, vegetable stock cube, and squeeze some limes on. Here are some yams, cut quite small, so that they cook at the same time roughly as the rice. There. I'm calling them yams. I suspect they're sweet potatoes. That much rice. That'll do. Another of these attractive chaps. There we are. I won't add the lime yet because it just gives you something thrilling to do later on. I'm actually bored stiff with this. However, it's supper every night. Give it a whiz round with this little ladle. Rather too cumbersome. But at least I can sort of do a bit of that with it, do you see? It's already looking, as you will agree, pretty attractive. Ho-hum. Everything cooked in this tin goes black, everything. So you eat as much rust and burnt. You see, everything just goes that colour. So it's a bit of a pity. Luckily in the cave I couldn't see what I was eating, so I just felt slightly queasy. Now here's the pièce de résistance, the little squeeze of lime. I wasn't given a spoon, so I decided to use the pink shell today. If I lived on this island and I had to eat this every night, I'd eat fruit. I'd never eat yams again, and I'd never eat rice. And as for vegetable stock cubes, it's not so bad, actually. It isn't so bad. It's just not terrifically appetizing to look at. I think that's the bit that's depressing, is the black, the sort of squid-like gravy, which, as you know, it's sort of rust and old tins, kind of, you know, it can just make you just a little anxious. The other good thing, apart from the camera crew, if you eat your own, you don't care what you look like. You don't care where you chop it. The crew's getting awfully sweet, actually, because they feel sorry for me with my vegetable stock cube. And so yesterday I found a mango in my collection. Somebody had sneaked me a mango from their cruise yacht, where they go back and tuck in the evenings. And so today I put it in a cave over there, which is where I'm storing some things, my wet weather little cave there. And today, when I went to get it, a bird had gone, so I thought, time to eat the mango. So I just sat on the rock there, doing some drawings, ate mango. The great thing is, it doesn't matter how you sit with your knees any old way, it doesn't matter, you can just eat mango like that and just let it all fall down and just walk into the sea. Anyway, I'm rambling a bit because I'm extremely happy. I hope you can see me. This is Sarabangina. Those lovely birds, fruit bat. I must stop talking. I'm just extremely happy. few bits like that. Lumley Hill there. And over there, so that is west. Now these are pyres. I can't believe that's right, but I might as well just have a little cut at it and see if it is. It feels as hard as nails. No, I'm afraid it should be gold flesh with little black seeds. So I have to leave that for the insects. Thing seems to be higher up. I have to look for another. There's a slightly yellowy one. Oh! Could be a slightly mouldy one too. Let's see what that's like inside. Look at that colour. I'm not going to open it up yet, or shall I? Never cut towards your hand. There we are, black seeds. Perfect, perfect orange flesh. Best food in the world. The best food in the world. Okay, gang, you want some? After all that incredible rain, it's now about 95 degrees in the shade. This is the middle of the afternoon. It's been even hotter early on, so I thought I'd make myself a parasol. The difficult thing is trying to find some way of making all those struts and spokes. And I had this genius idea of using this bit, which, if you remember, my mosquito net was round and is supposed to suspend from this. So I thought I'd use this as the sort of the middle frame bit. This is fishing line I'm using, and I'm sure it won't astonish you to hear that I haven't done any fishing, because I don't fish. I don't eat fish either. Also, once you've been out in the water with the fish, you get rather attached to them, and they come up and sit beside me, swim beside me, little white fish with beautiful tails. If we could all live off peanuts and avocados, I think the world would be a better place. And the other thing I'm missing is toast and marmalade. Anyway, I just thought I'd tell you that. That's nice. Okay, a little bit of changing of light here. There we are. Get into the picture, which I hope is about here. And we are, as they say, cool for cats. Well, here I am today, having had another of the fantastic suppers. I've got to say, it is a bit boring, the diet here. But as a matter of fact, it's quite good, you see. There's nothing wrong with rice and sweet potatoes and limes and the odd pawpaw. I mean, I'm getting all the vitamins and all the things I need. Well, I think a few chaps have got in here with me tonight. Off you go, boys. And in any case, the strange thing is I'm actually not very hungry anymore. Oh, sorry, we've gone on to disco lights here. Hang on a second. And the bliss of not giving a hang what you look like. I mean, just not having a mirror, knowing you look like death. You'll probably recognise these fabulous vêtements I've selected for this evening. Well, this is what I have to sleep in the A-frame, because having left the cave, there are just biters everywhere, and so I wear my interior clothes at night time, and although it's very hot and sweaty, it's actually better than being completely bitten. I also put on a pair of socks, if you can imagine. Ah, toasty, toasty. I thought it might be time for another letter from Jennifer Saunders. Delirium. Well, actually, she's not far wrong. Let's see what delirium is. Official legal contract. I, Joanna Lumley, being of sound mind and huge IQ, do hereby and solemnly swear that hitherto and therefore I will appear in all of your clever, funny shows. I will give no consideration to the size of the part or the hair required. I will agree to do any parts that Diana Rigg, Honor Blackman or Linda Thorson and Annika Rice are too busy for. I will have surgery if required. Signed by the artiste. Signed by the other party, Jennifer Saunders. Well, I've got a job to go back to, because nobody else will want to employ me looking like this. Thanks, Jen. I'm not lonely. I wave the crew goodbye. It's always sad to see them go, because I like having the crew here. I like the crew, and also they smuggled me the odd apple and things, which is just peachy, because there aren't papayas every day. You know, lots of them are green, like the one I showed you. They're green. Jennifer Saunders, lonely. It's a balloon. Hang on. It's got something written or drawn on it. Oh, it's got some nice faces on it. This face is saying, yes, I agree with you. Go and talk to it. Go. Ha, ha, ha. How charming, says this face. And this one says, I beg your pardon, so I can just sit here and go a joke. Waiter, a crocodile sandwich, please, and make it snappy. Ha, 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 how charming. Yes. I mean, what I do feel is that camping is actually a very, very, very good thing. Oh, yes, I agree with you. Yep. 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 Lonely. Not me. Christ. That was something tragic. All my shells or something gorgeous like that went down. I found this shell on the beach earlier and had been bashed about by the waves, making a natural little funnel. It's rather useful with these narrow-necked bottles. Sometimes I stand a tin under this, it's pulling no time at all. Now, although this water is kind of not too bad, it's better to be safe. one nice little water tablet. Get it all prepared. And then put it in. And then in about 15 minutes, time, it'll be ready to drink. It'll be extremely refreshing. It tastes, in fact, like a municipal swimming pool, but you can always add a squeeze of lime. Don't scatter litter. It's my last night here. It's quite extraordinary. It seems to have flown by, but it's now my last night. This whole idea was obviously thought up by Robinson, you know, the Robinson Crusoe idea, and Girl Friday being Man Friday, and desert islands and surviving, and hang on, cool for cats. And could you survive? And I suppose the answer is yes, I have survived, although I haven't really survived because obviously I've been filming and I've got a film crew and I've got radio contacts, so anything that went wrong I could have phoned for help. And I've been poaching apples and people have given me little treats like mangoes and things. But, I mean, I am alive and I have survived. I arrived with a fairly bare minimum and nothing to keep coming washing up from the shipwreck. But Robinson Crusoe was also shipwrecked for 22 years, and I knew I was only here for 9 days, so it seemed really worth having a stab at all the things that survival seems to entail. That's why I seem to have been running around like a mad thing, having a crack at things, making stupid things like umbrellas, good things like cave shoes, necklace, ladles, matting, trying to do, you know, lovely shelter. Crusoe didn't have a mosquito net. I bet he wish he had. I've missed home. I've missed my people, but I haven't missed sort of what you would call civilization very much. I've missed washing the old wig. I mean, you know, forget it. This is coconut husk. This is sayonara, you know, bye-bye baby. And sometimes you just long to be able to be clean and dry, but then you stop that. I mean, my clothes are now beyond belief filthy and ghastly. So you don't mind. I sleep in them, I walk in them, they're full of salt, it doesn't matter. I've had them on for, what is it, 9 days? I can't think. That doesn't matter. If they asked me to stay on a few extra days here, or an extra 2 weeks or something, I wouldn't. It's been absolutely exhausting. It's been exhausting. But it's been completely wonderful. It's been so extraordinary. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. Fantastic. It was a brilliant night. It was rainy. That's ideal. I built the most enormous fire here. I went around in the dark collecting anything I could find. I thought I won't use a torch. That sounds a bit You know, I don't want to... So I've burnt my, what I call whale teeth, which are the big props I had here. I'll be very, very sad to lose this. It's my seat and the dreaded tins. Ah! I've decided to leave a little memento to the island. I've written this letter. From Girl Friday to the next survivor on Sarabangina, I, Joanna Lumley, leave you the SAS Survival Guide and the remains of my Irish Guard survival tin. Here also is an excellent recipe you may like to cook up in these tins. 2 chopped scrubbed sweet potatoes, 1 handful of rice, half a pint of purified water, tablets in the tin. Boil above together for 15 minutes and serve drenched in the juice of 14 limes. Serve on clamshell. Joanna.